from the stand itself. This old scrape right here had been hit again. Fresh marks on it. That little scrape was new. This tree had been hit. And back here at the stand itself, along the bench, about 30 yards, straight up the bench, headed back out to the cutover field, another large cedar, medium-sized cedar, had also been freshly hit. So, after my morning sit, when I came in to scout this stand out for possible evening sit, I had found the information with the rugs that I showed you earlier. Here, right back over here, and of course one up about 30 yards up in front, which had led me to believe that some travel was happening right down the bench, coming right through this area, which is what my initial theory was when I first set this stand from the old rugs that were in place. Now, about 60 yards right up the ridge is the old logging trail, and there was two very active scrapes on that trail that I had been getting some footage of on the cameras. I'll show you a little bit of what I got from those scrapes. Now, into the sit for about an hour, right straight behind me, off that white oak tree that's right behind me, a red squirrel had come down about 3 feet off the ground, bailed off the side of that into the leaves right behind me. And of course I've got my hook right here for my fall protection, and I very nearly had to test my fall protection vest when that squirrel made all that commotion right behind me like that. I just knew that that nice deer had slipped up on me from behind. When I found out it was the red squirrel, he for the next half an hour, 45 minutes, had spent time out in this area, back and forth, making more commotion than was absolutely necessary for whatever job he was doing. So after each time when I would hear him and I would look over to find out where he was, and then go back to watching the trails over on this side, I heard more commotion out to my right. Thinking it was that red squirrel again, I looked back over, and coming right up from the deepest part of that drainage gully down below me was my really nice doe, making her way straight up to me. Now, this camera, this GoPro, is normally hooked onto my stand in this fashion. And I had it pointed down and slightly over to catch footage that may be walking along the bench. You can see how open the woods are coming up from that side, so I couldn't bend over. I've got the quick caption button on, so all I have to do is touch the shutter button to get things going. But she's walking steadily right up to me. Now, for the camera arm itself, there's a sequence I have to go through to get. I use an old iPhone, one that I had in a drawer from a trade-in from my daughter some years back. So to get this going, I have to touch the button. I have to swipe down to get into camera. I have to touch video, then touch record to get things going. And at the same time, for sound, I have to remember to turn on my Bluetooth microphone that hooks up to the receiver on the camera. There was no way I was going to get through all of that sequence to make all this happen. So the deer was still coming up. It looked up at me from right in this area. I was already had my bow in my lap and semi-turned in this direction, and the doe put her head down, then lifted right back up, looked at me, and then decided, I guess, that I was no threat. So she came walking forward, and I'm thinking she's going to come right here in front of me. But instead, she turned to her left, moving over to come in behind these cedar trees. So as soon as she was behind these cedars, in one motion, I stood, turned, and drew. And as she walked through, right there, and I will show you the arrow right now. I made a killing shot. It was not my intended shot. I had focused on a spot of exit behind the far shoulder. I am so ingrained myself for a good, solid, dead hold follow through that I forgot that I needed to follow through with the deer stepping forward. I did not do that. I made a good, clean release, great shot. The arrow with that 150 grain Magnus 2 blade just went through the deer like butter. I mean, no resistance, complete pass through, no worries, but it was a little far back. It ended up being a good killing shot. I ended up taking one lobe of the liver and both lungs, but it was higher and further back than I wanted because I didn't use a proper follow through for a walking animal. I did not try to stop the animal because I did not want the animal to be on alert and duck the arrow or anything. It's 12 yards away. I knew I could make the shot, so I did. The animal took off. It went up the hill behind that group of cedars where I lost sight of it going straight up. But then I heard the deer stop, and within seconds I heard the deer crash. I knew I was not going to have much of a blood trail, so we will take up the rest of the video from where I walked up and had the deer. Well, my friends, I'm very happy. I hit her just a little far back, but I didn't stop her as she was walking. I pulled as she got in behind some cedar trees and she stepped out the other side. Is when I took my shot. The Sanlida Eagle X9 takedown recurve gold tip warrior arrows. Magnus Stinger broadhead that just absolutely zipped right through this fine Missouri doe. I can't tell you how proud I am. We have finally made the transition from beginner to traditional bow hunter. I'm so happy that you guys have come along with me as I try to make this happen. Nothing like it. If I can get across to anybody what I feel right now, I hope that you will consider taking up traditional bow hunting. I don't think I've ever been more proud of an animal that I've taken by any means whatsoever. This has probably topped it all. I guess having maybe a large antler deer sometime might overcome this feeling that I have on this one, but I just don't see how. My heart's still pumping. I'm 63 years old. Have killed many animals in my hunting lifetime, and I believe this is my greatest achievement up to this point. Thank you so much for coming along. As you could tell in my walk-up video, I was elated. I was so happy. That's my first traditional bow kill, and I want to take this time to tell you guys how much I appreciate all of you that have followed along with me. I'm going to put at the end of this video links to both my series of traditional archery, beginner to bow hunter, as well as my DIAT tools for self-reliance. That will go through my Flemish bowstring that I was using. That'll go through my arrow build of the arrows that I was using, and it takes me from 5 months into my journey until present. So thank you all for being here. This will be my traditional archery beginner to bow hunter completion of that series. Can't thank you enough. Appreciate it very much. We're going to be ending the early part of the archery season in Missouri for this afternoon, November the 14th. November the 15th, rifle season starts for 10 days, and we will be back out here in the woods with our traditional archery equipment on November the 26th. I'm going to set the recurve to the side for right now, and I'm going to pick up my my longbow. So from the November the 26th through season end on January 15th, we'll be out here trying to use some of our tactics again with the longbow and make it happen again. Y'all come back.